The Ural Mountains are vast, their jagged peaks rising high above the land like ancient sentinels. For centuries, locals spoke in hushed tones about the dark history of Kolatsiakl, or Dead Mountain, warning that the mountain had a presence, something that could not be explained by rational minds. The Mansi people, who had inhabited the region long before the arrival of settlers, held the mountain sacred, and they told stories of the evil spirit that roamed its slopes, an entity that was neither wholly alive nor dead, and one that preyed upon those who dared to venture too close. But in February 1959, a group of 9 hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out to conquer this frozen wilderness. They were young, brave, and determined. What happened to them in the heart of those desolate mountains remains one of the most chilling mysteries of the 20th century. Some say the truth is simply too terrifying to comprehend, but there are others who believe that the hikers encountered a darkness that was not of this world, a darkness that still lingers in the mountain's frozen heart. The hikers assembled in the small village of Vizhai, located on the edge of the wilderness, where their journey would begin. The village was quiet, almost too quiet, with the harsh winter winds howling through the streets. People here had seen few outsiders, and most were wary of the strangers from the city who would soon venture into the heart of the mountains. Igor Dyatlov, the leader of the expedition, was a confident and capable man. He had planned every detail of the journey, taking into account the risks posed by the severe winter conditions. His team included experienced hikers, each with their own specialized skill sets. Zina Kolmogorova, a medical student and the group's chronicler who would document their experiences on this journey. Yuri Krivonyshenko, a carefree and jovial figure, always quick to make jokes, yet with a deep knowledge of survival. Lyudmila Dubinina, the group's most determined and physically fit member with a stubborn streak. Nikolai Thibault Brignol, a quiet man, always steady and practical in difficult circumstances. Rustem Slobodin, an endurance athlete whose strength would prove essential on the toughest days. Alexander Kolevatov, a reserved but highly analytical individual, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Semyon Zolotaryov, a former soldier who had an air of mystery about him, with his war experiences often coming up in conversation. Yuri Doroshenko, driven by a need to prove himself, eager to make his mark on the world. Before leaving, an elderly Mansi woman approached them. Her face was etched with age, and her eyes held a quiet intensity. She spoke to them in the harsh, clipped tones of the Mansi language. Semyon, who was familiar with the language, translated her warning. "Do not go further than the pass. The spirits will not forgive you." Igor smiled politely, dismissing the superstition, but the words stayed with him. The others, too, brushed it off as nothing more than folklore. The hikers were prepared. This would be just another challenge to conquer. As they left the village behind, a deep sense of excitement filled the air, yet an undercurrent of unease rippled through them. The mountains loomed large, their snow-covered peaks like silent observers of their every move. Days passed as the group ventured deeper into the wilderness, trekking through dense snow and harsh winds. The biting cold grew more intense with each step, but they pushed on, determined to reach their destination. The landscape was both breathtaking and desolate, a vast, untamed wilderness that seemed to stretch on forever. On the 4th day, Zina noticed something odd, a set of strange symbols etched into the snow. They were intricate, spiraling patterns that didn't seem to belong to any known language. Her heart raced as she examined the markings, feeling a chill crawl up her spine. "These weren't made by animals," she said quietly, her breath visible in the frigid air. Igor looked at the symbols, then at the others. "Possibly some kind of marker, or just the wind playing tricks," he said, trying to reassure them. But despite his words, an unsettling feeling settled over the group. It was as if the mountain itself was warning them, as if something was watching them.